I'm going to be talking today about a little bit like our last post. I used 1 Samuel chapter 16 and verse 7 about how God looks at the heart and not the outside of man. And it was about the key to a great future. Today I'm going to talk to you about when your heart changes, your values will change. When your heart changes, your values will change. Weakness in the present life, if not addressed, will become a wickedness in the future. If you don't slay the giant when he's a toddler, you're going to be slaying the giant later on in your life when he's 10 foot tall. So it's best to do it now and nip it in the bud, as Barney Fife would say. Nip it, nip it, nip it, and do it while the giant is a toddler, and don't wait till he's 10 feet tall. Then you've got a real big task to deal with. The best way that we can care for people and do things is to get our life cleaned up on the inside, so we don't have to face Goliath later on in our life. You know God's working in you, and He just doesn't do it for no purpose at all, because He knows that you're going to become weak. If you don't deal with issues when they're small, you ain't going to be able to hardly deal with them when they get bigger. When the pressure comes on, you're going to break down and you're going to burn and crash. Why? Because you haven't dealt with issues that you should have dealt with a long time ago. Burying things in the sand and pushing things off to the side don't make them go away. They're still going to be there. When people say, I can't handle this, what they're saying is, I'm not strong enough to handle this. Why? Because they didn't take care of things at the onset, and they let it grow and grow and grow. A lot of people do that with their anger. They get mad at someone, and then they hold it inside, and they hold this inside, and then they hold that inside, and they just keep holding stuff till one day they explode. They usually explode on an innocent person who really don't deserve it, and they give them everything, both barrels, with all the buckshot coming out, 0.06, and let them have it. And then they got to go apologize to them, and they say they're sorry, and they're weeping, and they're heartbroken, and everything else. It's because you've let issues that you should have dealt with when they were toddlers get up into 10-foot giants. And you can't do that, or you're going to explode someday from all the pressure inside of you for not releasing things. You got a problem with somebody? Tell them. I told all my people when I passed, I said, you got a problem with me talking to Sister Smith, talking to Brother Al over there, that's not going to solve it. If your problem's with me, come see me. I'll hear you out. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize. If I'm not, I'll explain things to you. But deal with me. I've always been that all the way in my life. I deal with it. I don't tell people, you know, wait till I explode. If I got a problem with somebody, I'm going to tell them I got a problem with them. And I'm going to do it in the right spirit, in the right attitude, at the right time. That's why when I was a manager of a large car dealership, I did not wait to do it first thing in the morning. If you deal with a guy first thing in the morning, or a lady, they're going to be upset all day long, which helps no one. You wait till closing time. Then you call them in and you tell them what a good person they are, which they are. They wouldn't be working for you. You tell them how much you appreciate them. Give them a pat on the back. All right, that's the hamburger bun. Now it's time to get to the meat. Here's what you've been doing wrong. You've been coming in late every day. You've been slipping out early. You've been doing this wrong and that wrong and all that. Now I go back and add the other hamburger bun, and I say, but you're a good person, and if I didn't think you were good, and if I didn't think you could correct these problems and do them, you wouldn't be working here. I know what you got in you. You need to start doing it so I can see improvement, and I will help you. And then I put my arm on their back and pat them as they're walking out the door to go home. And then they got all night to deal with their emotions. And when they come back the next day, they're different. You know why? Because you do things smart. Don't be stupid. Be smart. Listen to what God tells you. You know, I learned a long time ago that you deal with issues, but there's a right way to do it. Screaming and hollering and cussing out an employee brings you down below their level. You're an idiot. People that do that to their employees are idiots. You learn to deal with people in a godly manner. Treat people like you want to be treated, and give them respect like you get respect. And your employees will go overboard, and they'll go above and beyond for you, and so will your friends that you love and your family, because you treat people right. God wants you to get things right on the inside so it will show up on the outside. The abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So when people talk to you all the time, mean, cut you, talk to you hateful, say mean things to you, and then they, oh, I'm sorry. After a while, sorry wears itself out. The welcome mat's gone, because you can't just talk to anybody any way you want, say anything that pops in your head, and then just say, I'm sorry, and it fixes it. Life's not that way. That's why God's telling us to deal with things in the inside when they're toddlers, and not wait till they're a 10-foot giant. You got to deal with things. You have to face issues in life, and you won't blow up and leak everything out that God's put in you, because God wants you to deal with your impurities, and you must deal with them at some point in your life. And hopefully you'll do it when they're toddlers and not wait till they're 10-foot giants. I love you. This is the last I'll talk about this. But if you ever get to feeling down, or you're not sure what God wants you to do or how you should deal with people, then you need to get down and read 1 Samuel chapter 16 and slide over to verse 7, and God will tell you how people look at you, but He'll tell you how He looks at you. God looks at you different. Aren't you glad for that? I am, that God looks at me through His eyes. God bless you. I love you. Have a wonderful day. Until we meet again, maybe tomorrow.